What's up, YouTubes? I've been perusing the internet lately and looking for topics that'd be good to discuss for my channel, and I found that forcing religion upon people is something that's often not only done, but people often misunderstand someone mentioning religion, and they rage at them or whatever, and I think it's something that needs to be discussed. I talked with a few of my viewers about it, I've talked to my family, and they agreed. So, first, I would like to start with the point of children, like I mentioned in my earlier video. Children are like blank slates, they don't know anything in life except for what their parents introduce to them. And when their parent introduces an option to them, a lot of parents fail to realize that if they just introduce one option, the child's going to believe it regardless. So it's really important to show your child multiple options, regardless of your own beliefs. This is why I think creationism and evolution should be taught in schools. But I wanted to I wanted to talk with you guys about not only giving options and creating your own beliefs towards something as valuable as religion, but also talking to somebody about it. You gotta make sure to remember to respect other people's personality and beliefs and the way they express themselves, like I spoke of. You really just gotta be polite, you gotta approach them and be like, hey, your religion, it doesn't make sense to me. Could you explain it? And then when they elaborate on it, hopefully they elaborate nicely. There are some people, like I mentioned earlier, who are just out to, aggravate people and poke at their nerves because it amuses them. But anyways, and after you've found out what their religion's about, then you can make your own judgment upon it after knowing about it. Making a judgment on something that you know nothing of is a very immature thing to do, firstly, because, how can you know how you feel about something if you don't even know about it? But anyways, after knowing about it and creating your judgment, then you should speak with them about why you disagree with it, and do this in a very calm and almost empathetic manner. Understand how they would feel towards some of the things you're saying, because you are literally questioning their beliefs. And as long as it's done in a proper manner and you're speaking to a mature person, things should go out nicely. And a lot of this tension in beliefs comes from extremists. Extremists, they take their religion and they perceive it and they act upon it in a manner that's very extreme. Thus, their name extremists. Like, for instance, Islams and jihadists. They, I'm not. I think that's the same. I'm not quite sure on the subject. I haven't done a lot of research on it, but they they have extremists amongst themselves. Not all Islams are not all Islams or Muslims are crazy people who want to blow up people's buildings and stuff and terrorize people because they have different beliefs. They're extremists. They're not to be looked at as a representation of their entire religion. They're to be looked at as they are. They're an extremist faction. They have beliefs and act upon and different acts different from the actual base Muslim religion. So it's not good to let the fear of what extremists do to change your view or change how you would react to somebody. Let's say you see a Muslim on a plane. Now, many would freak out and be nervous, and some even reply with very snide remarks, and it's very rude. This Muslim person is on the plane trying to get from point A to point B just like you. They don't have a bomb strapped to their chest. They aren't going to hijack the plane. Yes, it was 9/11 was a horrible event, and yes, it's been joked about a lot. I even made a few jokes about it, but I mean, it's no reason to have to treat somebody with ill will and disrespect and to treat them like they're dirt or like they're going to kill you or something when they have no intentions to do such. You gotta know the difference between an extremist and a normal person with normal religious views and normal beliefs. And my next point is explaining your religion to other people. some people, I can understand passion. You're very passionate about your beliefs, about this new way that you've discovered, and how it makes so much sense in your life, and how it gives you happiness. I can understand. I'm a very religious person myself. I just know how to engage in conversation about it and explain it to people in a way that's not offensive. A lot of the times, when you explain, you want to just get them to believe it because that's the only way in your head. So the first step is to understand that your religion isn't the only way. I'm not arguing who's right and who's wrong, but I'm saying that there are many other different beliefs out there, and it is not your place to go around telling everybody that yours is the only one and forcing it upon people. So first understand that you're what you're explaining to them isn't their only option. And I can also understand wanting to save them. Religions such as Christianity are very heavily based on saving people, and if they don't believe in the religion, they are going to hell. And I can understand the passion and the way you could care about someone to want to save them like that. But you really have to respect their boundaries and not offend them by, trying to push this upon them and make them believe it. The next step to explaining your beliefs to somebody is to just sit down and calm yourself and explain it from a logical standpoint. Remove yourself from your own beliefs for a second. That doesn't even matter to you. Take what you know. Do not let your emotions come forth through your words, because when you speak emotionally about something without practice and experience, you oftentimes let that emotion rule, and it makes the conversation go awry, and it just turns out badly. So remove emotion from yourself, and speak in a logical point of view, and then explain the finer points of your religion. Like, let's take Christianity again, for example, because this is a very common religion, at least in my area in America, Kansas. um, Christianity, they believe in Jesus. Jesus died for the sorry, there's a bug. Jesus died for our sins, and he allowed us to be able to be forgiven and be able to go to heaven through acceptance of this fact. So you would say it like that. You wouldn't say, you're going to go to hell if you don't accept Jesus, and that's the way it is. You don't approach somebody like that. That's rude, you know. And then just so explain the finer points, and just try your hardest not to be overwhelming, and not to let your emotions rule your conversation. Secondly, excuse me, um, another point I wanted to have was being insulting towards other people's religions. Now, I can personally detest to this fact, because my religion and my beliefs have been insulted many times. My religion, my beliefs draw from a multitude of beliefs, because I don't believe one faith is right. It's mostly New Age, pagan, and Wicca. But anyways, having these more these less common faiths that I believe in, I get insulted and berated and called stupid a lot when I try to express what I believe to people and try to explain it to them. And so what I found is that, firstly, a lot of religions, and from a scientific standpoint, they they seem impossible because science cannot prove them. And if you are, I don't know what that's called, but someone who believes in science and not faith, more power to you. You know what you believe, and you're happy for that. But that does not mean you need to go and insult somebody and belittle them and tell them they're dumb for for your own beliefs that you believe differently. Just like when someone's explaining their religious views to them, there's also a way to react to this, to someone explaining it to you. You If you disagree with them, like I said, first remove your emotion, because when you're trying to engage in a logical conversation to understand someone's point, emotion gets into the way. So remove your emotion, then take a moment to try to understand how passionate they are about their view, because they may not be they may be an extremist, or they may be one of those people who force their religion down your throat, you know? And it is your job, it is your, not your job, your place to be the bigger person and engage them in a conversation in a non-offensive manner. And hopefully they will catch on to how you were saying and drop down a step and speak to you in a non-offensive manner. So take a second to really understand where they're coming from and understand their passion. And then you just, like they would, explain in a manner that's logical and non-offensive. So say, I'll use my own religion, a point from my own religion for this example this time. I believe in multiple lives, reincarnation, being born multiple times for the purpose of learning how to be. So someone's trying to say that they believe otherwise towards me. A good way to approach this would be, so I believe that, so you would start with saying, I believe that, you live one life, and then after you've died, you go to heaven. And in heaven, you are treated with love and kind from God. And you meet Jesus, and your loved ones are there, and, you know, and so there was no, and then I would reply, I can understand that, no one really knows exactly what happens after we die. It is not, I would say, it's not my place to say you're wrong. I disagree, though, and believe that we live multiple lives. So, and in every life, we learn lessons to help our greater divinity, to help our higher selves to become more, to become more divine, And through these lives, we can't, we can't do, and through these lives, we can't remember our past lives, because if we remembered our past lives, we would be too wise to handle the situations that we planned for ourselves before we enter this life. We would be too wise to handle them in the way we need to learn what we need to. Thus, we need to not remember what our past lives were. And that's just an example. I do plan on doing a video on my very religious beliefs in a calm manner as an example of how you would explain something like this. But anyways, I'll move on to my next point on you also owe it to yourself to explore all options of religion. Religion is something that, is something that's so powerful and so so helpful in general that, it's caused wars. You know it's made people go out and do things that they would never do. It allows you to step out of your box. So you owe it to yourself to explore all options, or at least multiple options, not just one or two, and stick with those. If you are just familiar with one religion, you owe it to yourself to go out and explore other religions. I'm not saying drop your faith. I'm just saying explore what they have to say from a logical standpoint and see if that makes more sense to you. If it doesn't, fine. But my point is just you owe it to yourself to explore all your options. And when you don't, you're just throwing yourself into ignorance. And when you're ignorant towards something, you literally make a wall in front of yourself that will make you incapable of moving past it and being better than you are. And anyways, this video is getting long, and I've made most of my points. It's about 14 minutes now. I also want to say I apologize for not uploading a video yesterday. I'm gonna try to plan on uploading a video every day, and I apologize for yesterday. Some of my friends were being irrational, and I let myself play into their game of, starting drama and being stressful because they were bored or for whatever reason. I played into this game, and I exhausted myself arguing with them, and I I was too tired to upload a video, and I should have just not even engaged in it. But yes, I apologize, and thank you. Have a great day, great night, whatever. Later's YouTubes. Have a good day.